Hi, welcome to Live Your Dream Podcast, episode 35. What I learned from a best-selling writer about how to create work that moves people. I'm your host, Selena Lee. Before I start the show today, I want to give a shout out to my listener who left a review on iTunes. Andrew wrote, "Great job, Selena. A must subscribe." Selena does an amazing job of taking the listener on a journey through her interviews. The wisdom and between the lines advice she extracts from her guests will benefit any professional and certainly any millennial dealing with confusion in the modern workplace. If you enjoy hearing stories about incredible people and learning life lessons from them, I highly recommend this podcast. Wow, thank you so much, Andrew. I'm so grateful that you took the time to not only listen to my show, but to write me this amazing review. You totally have made my day. If you got any joy or value from listening to my podcast, I would really appreciate it if you can take just a few minutes to give me a rating and write me a review. I'm trying to get to 50 reviews and I have 48 right now, so I just need 2 more reviews to achieve my goal. If you can help me out, I would really appreciate it. It's really easy to do it on iTunes, and I may give you a shout out in future episodes. Today, I want to share with you what I've learned from a best-selling writer about how to create work that moves people. Kyung-sook Shin is one of the most famous writers from Korea, and I've been very grateful to have known her for many years as my mentor and a friend. I think some of you may have read her novels, especially Please Look After Mom, which sold more than 2 million copies in Korea and has been translated into many different languages and published in a lot of countries around the world. In previous episodes, I shared with you a story of how I met her in episode 23. As many of you know, my very first childhood dream was to write a book, to have a book with my name on it. And I was working as a lawyer and also had a talk show for a Korean American broadcasting television. And I had heard that this very famous writer from Korea was in town to promote her book, which was just published in the US, her famous novel, Please Look After Mom. So I reached out to her publisher and asked if she'd be interested in being interviewed by me. And she said yes. And a few days later, we were having dinner and I was very nervous, but I told her about my book idea. And she listened very patiently and she said, "Why don't you write 1 chapter and send it to me?" So I was, of course, very scared, very nervous. And I wrote about Chef Hoonee Kim, who I also interviewed for my podcast. If you haven't listened to it, you should go back and listen to it. It's an amazing episode. So right after I sent it to her, she read it immediately. And then she said she really liked the way that I write, that I wasn't trying to write well, but I was writing very honestly about how I felt. And she ended up putting me in touch with her publisher. And so my book got published by one of the best publishers in the country. And you know, it's a crazy story, but it really happened to me. It just is an evidence of how if you put yourself out there and you're not afraid of rejections, and you have the courage to just ask for help, amazing opportunities can come your way. As I started to work on the first chapter of my book, I asked her a question that I was trying to answer myself. I asked her, people don't have enough time in a day to do everything they need to do or want to do. And if they want to read a book, there are millions of books that they could read. So how do I make sure my book is worth people's time and money? How do I give people the reason to pay for my book and take the time to read it? Kyung-sook's answer was somewhat surprising and unexpected. She said, "When I'm working on my novel, I'm so immersed in the process of creating, and I frankly don't have the time to think about anything else. I just focus on doing the absolute best with my work and not worry about the reactions from the critics or the readers." She then continued to explain the process she goes through each time when she's working on her novel. She said, when I'm done writing a first draft, there are holes that need to be filled. These are the areas that I need to improve on. I work on my second draft, trying to fill these holes, and many times it becomes a completely different story. It's a lot of work for my editors. I then write another draft, filling the holes again, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, again and again. And after I repeat this process countless times, then there comes a point when there's nothing more I can do for this book. That's when I know it's ready to go out into the world. At that point, you could care less about the opinions and criticisms of other people because you know you have done your absolute best. If you pour your soul and heart into your work, it will inevitably move people, she said. She then added, when you know you haven't done your absolute best though, and you know there were these holes that needed to be filled, but you didn't because you were busy, you lost passion, or you were in a hurry to leave for your vacation, then it will come and haunt you. The critics and the readers will most likely criticize those holes, and those criticisms will be very difficult to hear. So I listened to her advice when I was writing my book. Instead of worrying about what people will think about it and if they will like it and if they'll want to buy it or read it, I just focused on doing the best that I could, filling the holes again and again and again. The night before my book was going to the printers, I had been up all night finalizing the edits to my book, and when it finally went to the printers in the morning, I felt that I've done everything I could do for my book, and there was nothing more I could do for it. I spent more than a year working on my book with absolute dedication and have spent many days and nights writing and rewriting and revising and re-revising. I knew that I had done my absolute best and have done everything I could for it. And now it was ready to go out into the world, like she told me. This experience also taught me the importance of defining my goal and my own definition of success. My goal wasn't for my book to be read by lots and lots of people and to become famous for it. It was just to get it published and to have a book with my name on it. So I told my mom the morning my book went to the printers that I have achieved my dream, because my dream was to have a book with my name on it. And now it was going to become a real book. So I remember that day very, very clearly. And it was one of the happiest moments of my life. And from my mentor, Kyung-sook, I've learned that when I've done my very best, I could care a lot less about other people's opinions because I was proud of what I had done and accomplished. We often waste our precious time worrying about how others will think about us and about our work. And I've been, of course, guilty of that many times in my life. And frankly, it is exhausting because we don't have any control over it. I was grateful to have had a mentor and a friend who taught me to use my time not worrying, but instead focus on doing my absolute best and believing that a work created with passion, dedication, and love will touch and move people. So when you are worried if your work will be good enough and you're worried about what other people will think about it, just remember to do the best that you can, filling the holes again and again until there's nothing more you can do for it. And you'll know then you'll have created work that you can be proud of, regardless of what other people will think about it. I hope this story was helpful to you. And if you have any thoughts or story related to what I've shared with you today, I would love to hear from you. Please send me a message on my website, selinalee.co/contact. That is CELINALEE.co/contact. I've shared with you that I'm launching my first group coaching program, Career Happiness Academy. I've designed it with everything I've learned about success and happiness from people who have achieved amazing things, and also what I've learned from my own career transitions and from coaching many professionals. This will be a 12-week, small and exclusive group coaching program, and I'll be inviting 3 to 5 highly motivated people to join the group and go through an inspirational journey of transforming career and life through my love coaching framework I've developed. The benefit of joining the group program is that you'll be part of an inspiring community of people who are working towards achieving big goals and big dreams in their lives. I've noticed from coaching many people that so often a lot of people have similar struggles and challenges, but because we don't talk about them openly, so many people feel like they're alone. When I was in training to become a certified coach, I was in group programs myself, and I loved it because it was so wonderful to be part of a community and get the support from other people. And I also learned so much from other people's experiences and their perspectives and how they were growing and developing their careers and lives. So this experience led me to develop my own group program. By joining, you'll be able to develop friendships and build relationships with successful people from different industries who you probably would not have a chance to meet otherwise. And the group dynamic will offer mutual support, accountability, and a space to share ideas and challenges. So if you're looking for something more than one-on-one coaching, and you want to be part of an inspiring community and transform your career and life so you can finally take action and achieve what you have always wanted, whether that is a career transition, starting a side project, writing a book, or whatever your goal or dream may be, please check out the link for Career Happiness Academy I have on the show notes. Or you can go to my website, selinalee.co/CHA, which stands for Career Happiness Academy. That is CELINALE.co/CHA. If you have questions about my one-on-one coaching or have any thoughts or questions about my podcast, you can also visit me at my website at selinalee.co and send me a message on the contact page. And please subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And while you're at it, I would really appreciate it if you can please write me a review. It's really easy to do it on iTunes, and it will really help me to spread the word and get discovered by new listeners. So thank you so much, and I'll be back soon with another episode. I hope you have a great week.